For starters, President Tinubu is a dogged politician. We need a politician, a leader who is not afraid of difficult choices. I don't think there's any leader that can 100% satisfy his people.
Give us water, give us lights, give us electricity. Just give us that. You can do your project later. Just give us this one.
Well, the electricity bill was passed, allowing states to produce and generate their lights, right? It's part of what Tinubu promised us. It is now up to the states.
We're so glad to welcome you to another episode of Sips and Gossips with Jessan Brown. Now, today there will be gossips, more of the gossips and more sips because of the conversation we'll be having today. And this conversation is really particular because 21st of February, if you are active in the Calabar Facebook community space, you will know that one post gathered over 300 comments in the shortest time frame I have ever seen. Why? Because the convener of that post was talking about Tinubu's administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Now, this why we'll have some derogatory comments right there, some serious comments, some totally off point. We also want to filter the comments that made a lot of sense. And it is my pleasure to tell you that we invited the author of that post to come tell us why she did this. Now, this particular author is not just a political appointee, as she's known. Yes, a lot of people just know her to be like, okay, she just came into the political space and all of that. No, she is first a broadcast journalist. In fact, she hosted the first World Broadcast Day in Calabar in the history of broadcast journalism in the state. Hosted that event. Kudos to her. So behind or besides the political appointments, she's a broadcast journalist first. She's also a business entrepreneur of Crystal Clean. And she convenes women via Thelma Says. She also makes and breaks relationships, depends on which side you're on. Anyways, it is my pleasure to bring to the mic, the lights, and the camera this afternoon. Thelma Plethora Benson, a lawyer. You know I will always add a lawyer. Why does it always come as a surprise to you? I will add a lawyer. So glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Before we go into the business of today, which is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, congratulations on hosting World Broadcasting, the first edition of World Broadcasting.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a huge success. 2 days. It's difficult pulling out politicians.
I agree.
One day, but you did that 2 days. How did you manage? How was it?
I'll start by thanking God, because I'm not certain that without God's help, we would do that. I'd also go on to thank my big brothers, my fathers in the industry, whom I leaned into for support, for advice, for help. Very especially, I'd like to thank my papito. That's how I call him. I'm talking about Mr. Event himself. No, you already know. I'll say a big thank you to him because when I first thought of that event, I went to him and I said, Papito, I want to do this event. I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to go to, but I have you, you're Mr. Event. And he just said, okay, get this done, reach out to this person. Let's look for this person, this person. And in that one sitting, in that one conversation, the entire event was planned. All I had to do was go on and do execution. And yeah, and of course, to the former commissioner, Mr. Patrick Oga, who was our keynote speaker, I went to him and he said, Telma, because you have even thought about it, I'll cancel all plans and I'll be with you. And several other people, the Honorable Commissioner for Information, of course, the Chief Press Secretary to the governor, all these people had, input into that event, which is why it came out as such a success. Not forgetting that very short time frame. We started planning for that event in the third week of January. The event was in the second week of February. So you can imagine the short time we had. And of course, my project manager, my team, everybody was on ground. It was a back-to-back, but it came out well. I'm looking forward to future editions. We would have more time. We would have experience. we will do better. And of course, thank you to you for hosting the dinner
No,
night.
still finish because I don't know why I will call last in your thanks. I don't know why you do that. Today's conversation is about leadership, policy, and measurable impact under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we're looking at major reforms he has put in place, from pure subsidy removal to exchange rate unification and tax restructuring.
Mhm.
From the first day he entered office, he announced pure subsidy removal up to January here where the tax reforms took place. Now, in all of this, you came out on the 21st of February
Mhm.
and you told your community, in fact, the entire community, vote President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second term. If you even put it up as a challenge and you said there's no better candidate. If you have a better candidate, present it. That was such a bold claim. And your comment section was not having it.
I know the comment section went haywire. Everybody had something to say. For starters, President Tinubu is a dogged politician, an astute administrator. I believe strongly that where Nigeria is today, we need a politician, a leader who is not afraid of difficult choices.
Whether he has made really difficult choices. And
Exactly.
moving from 180 to 600 in seconds.
Difficult situations.
Spelled problems for
Exactly. I'm not, here's the thing, I'm not going to pretend that as Nigerians, we're not going through a really tough time. It is hitting on every Nigerian everywhere. Whether you're in the diaspora, whether you're in Nigeria, you will face it. Because I mean, if you're in the diaspora, you have family back home. So the challenges will still cut across to you. Nigeria is going through a really turbulent time. There's a lot going on in our economy. And prices of everything has skyrocketed as expected because of the difficult situations, the difficult decisions that Mr. President has had to take. But you know how they say, it is darkest just before dawn. President Tinubu is taking the decisions that a lot of people would not take. And he's taking it believing, knowing that it will be a time of hardship, but for a while. Eventually, when our economy stabilizes, we will all begin to see why the president had to do some of the things that he is doing currently.
I will dive straight into your comment sessions. There were some comments I went through because I took my time.
Mhm.
I 300 comments under 24 hours. That's record breaking to me. So I was curious enough to want to hear what people are saying regarding this administration. Now, one comment caught my eye from a Rennie May Kenneth Ikpeme. She
Okay.
said, almost a year ago, we nearly lost my father to Fulani herdsmen. We paid a ransom of 5 million naira to secure his release. Look at the highways of Calabar. How many have taken to the streets as destitute for lack of basic amenities? And today, just after church, a lady slumped opposite Hit FM. Thank God for the Good Samaritan who came to her rescue. Yeah, Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. You could tell she was being sarcastic.
Yes, I would like to respond to that. First of all, I sympathize with her and the situation with which her family had to go through. However, insurgency, insecurity did not begin with President Tinubu's administration. It has been there. But part of the difficult situations and decisions that the Tinubu-led administration is trying to fix includes the police reform, right? We have seen the police reform. We have also seen the State Police Act, which is still on the table, and the president is trying to get that working. Because I believe that you cannot solve 2026 problems with a Nigeria of 60 something years ago, right? We have the police force. I think that if President Tinubu goes through with the state policing as it is on the table for conversations right now, it will help us to curb some of these insecurity challenges.
Like saying with the current security forces we have on ground now, none of these security agencies and security structures are enough to combat the current insecurity.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Of course, we know that as it is, The presidency is doing its best with security. However, we also know that it is easier to tackle local issues with state policing. Why do I say so? If something erupts, for instance, if a case erupts in Calabar South, it is easier to deal with it with people on ground in Calabar South. Now, I'm only using Calabar South as an example. If it's in Odukpani, people in Odukpani know what is going on in Odukpani. So, true that there's insecurity in the country, true that people are facing these things. However, it is also true that it did not begin at when Tinubu became president. And I think that the presidency, the truth is, we need to give him time.
I agree with some of the points you've raised. But when it has to do with insecurity, that's why I ask again.
Yeah.
Is it that when these police reforms with state policing comes into power, into change, there's going to be a better security architecture for
Now,
Nigerians
from
than what we have right now?
this is a personal belief. I say yes. And why do I say yes? The police as it is now, the Nigerian police force, it has an AIG, right? There's one person at the top. If you go to the north, there's a case of insecurity, banditry. We hear about those things. You come to the south, there's Niger, Delta militant, and issues like that. Now, I do not think that, at that level, this is personal.
Okay.
I do not think that at the AIG level, the at that level, that hierarchy, they have understanding of what is happening in every geopolitical zone. I do not speak as an expert. I speak believing that if each state had a policing. Now, the truth is, the reason why people oppose this state police is the fear of abuse of the state police. But as it is now, the police, is it not the policemen we have on ground, are they not being used, power abuse? Are we not seeing it? I mean, any individual can go to the police and ask for escorts and all that. We already know these things. So I don't think it is I believe that if we have state policing, it would help curb, some of these challenges.
Insecurity is just one of the challenges that were highlighted. We also have the issue of food, which every Nigerian eats, every human eats, and majority of Nigerians are complaining. Here is a chart that shows the difference between 2016 shopping list and 2025. Gari of rice, a 10 kg bag of rice was at 2,391. In January 2025, we're not even talking about 2026 right now. It has risen to 22,000. Beans, 5 kg of beans, 1,184. January, 8,803. Gari, 662 naira. Right now, 4,000, but which I know Gari is not 4,000 at this time. What has this administration done? Because those are one of the backs they rode on. Food will be the famous corn, cassava, agbado, joke, and all of that, because he promised food security.
Okay.
Lights, and I don't even want to go into the lights.
So let's break that in. We started talking about this, and I said that President Tinubu is taking hard decisions. The moment fuel subsidy was taken away, right? Of course, transportation has a way of impacting on everything else. Um, the dollar was regularized, right? No more hidden markets, so that stability happened. Of course, dollar was
stability.
Yes. Now it skyrocketed, but what it did is that it stabilized. Industries can plan with the dollar as it is. Exporters, importers can plan with the dollar as it is. You know that if the dollar is at 140 or 14 of today, you're not going to wake up tomorrow to any sudden magic that it went up or it went down. There's that stability. And what it does in the long run is that it allows manufacturers, importers, exporters to plan and stabilizes the economy. And I'm saying because these decisions were taken, you see, the two things happened at the same time. we had an immediate impact. Fuel price went all the way up. People couldn't move, their produce from the farms to the towns. And of course, it affected everything. Cost of living generally went up, food inclusive. Like I said, I'm not oblivious of the hardship of the common man. I face it too. I go to the market.
Your commenters did not.
You
They said you're not facing it.
You see, here's the thing. People tend to think that because you talk in pro of the government, you're not feeling it. But that's not true. But like I said, the hard decisions have been taken. We're going to feel the impact, but for a short while. It is better that we put our heads together, we suffer it now, and the next generation don't have to go through it.
That was the same thing that was said in the Buhari's administration. And
True.
Nigerians could not wait so he would leave.
While that was said, you can see that in this administration, actual work is being done. And the president is not also oblivious of this, I believe, because we have seen that he has put in a lot into agriculture. There's the MSME, with the renewed agenda, MSME loans. There's the farmers grants that goes to farmers. They have given out fertilizers. The renewed hope is not just something that is said in word. I mean, just in this December, the first lady of our state had things from the Renew Hope that was given out to widows, to the elderly. This is to tell you that at that level, it is not that Mr. President is saying, all he's saying is, I know that this thing is hard, but let's put hands together and get through this phase so that we can have a more stabilized economy and have a better country.
But it's been 3 years down the line.
It's not going to happen overnight. You of all people know.
No, Tama, let's not play that card.
No, we're not playing it hard. I'm saying that if we take out our emotions, if we take out our emotions, how we feel, how aggrieved we are, we know that economic reforms will not happen in one tenure.
But do you think it will happen in 2 tenors?
I also personally do not believe that it will happen. We may begin to see results. We will begin to see results. As of this morning, our GDP is increasing by about a 4.7%. That's results. It is not where we want it to be, but we're somewhere. We're going somewhere. It may not happen in the 2 tenors in totality. We will see results, absolutely, but not in totality. What we need is continuity on this groundwork that has been done, which is one of the things that I'm grateful that we have such a good governor. When Prince Otu was campaigning, he did make mention to us that he was going to do continuity because we needed it as a state. He wasn't going to come up with fresh ideas and gigantic ideas telling us he was going to do. He wanted to do what was already laid on ground.
Is that what you think this country lacks?
I think we do lack it.
From all the, I'm going to be impaled from the military government.
I do think that we do lack
civilian administration.
I do think that we do lack continuity. I mean,
Jonathan built on Obasanjo's
if we continue to build, take one thing for instance. If we take one, we deal with it, put in so much effort. But I think also that as Nigerians, we're not very patient people.
How patient do you
An administration comes up and promises us that we're going to do this. You see, because we also want campaign promises, we need to be patient to allow these things come to play. If you're dealing with economic reforms, it will not happen overnight.
When people say low-hanging fruit, yes, you're bringing, we're talking about Nigerians' reforms and the patience of Nigerians. How long have Nigerians have been waiting to have decent light? I'm not even talking about 24 hours light right now. Decent light, potable water, and good roads. These are not gigantic projects. These are not bring back the refineries kind of projects. These are not bring back the dollar to a naira ratio kind of project. Just give us water, give us lights, give us electricity. just give us that. You can do your projects later. Just give us this ones.
Um,
And this administration himself said, in 4 years, if I do not give you light, vote me out.
well, the electricity bill was passed, allowing states to produce generate their light, right? Is part of what Tinubu promised us. It is now up to the states. Now you see, we like to scream the presidency, the presidency, the presidency. We need to break administration down and calm down. Eh? J Brown, we need to start from our councillors. Why do we have councillors? You see, it's easy to scream at Tinubu and refuse to scream at your councillor. You know why? Your councillor na your guy. Your councillor na your guy. You no one shout for your guy because you and your guy they did together. You want to hold the presidency responsible. You refuse to hold the House of Assembly member responsible. You know why? The House of Assembly now your uncle. Una family gets interest. But the presidency will not do everything. Let's begin from, and of course, Mr. President has given local government autonomy. I'm trying to say he's taking the decisions that will benefit us. Local governments have autonomy. Now go to the local government. Let us hold chairmen responsible for certain things. I mean, after implementation and everything, of course. Chairmen.
But are they truly autonomous?
It's a conversation for another day. I'm saying that.
Ready to go there.
I'm saying that. Let us not always look at it from that angle. Let's also bring it home. Let's drive it home. If we're holding our councillors responsible, we're holding our House of Assembly members responsible. These are the people that can directly impact in constituency projects and get them running. Water, roads. We have senators. Roads.
Or if it's the senators have been coming under huge criticism lately. That's set.
I see that people are, coming for the senators, asking questions. Why are you not doing that? Let us do that. If we're doing that, we declutter the center and allow more work to be done.
One of the things you also posted was not only about the president's administration. You threw a challenge. If you have a better candidate, present it.
And I think
that cost of nothing.
That's what really got people on my neck.
Yes.
Because they wanted to come for me. First off, let me start by saying it's an amazing.
I never
I made the post, and I know what I said.
Okay.
Obi is an amazing politician, right? And I said, let us give our president the benefit of doubt to do his 2 terms and follow through with his reforms. Tinubu is an amazing politician. He has raised men. He also knows how to put the right people in the right positions where they can be, more impactful. He has also showed us that he's youth inclusive. From his time as governor of Lagos State up until now, you can count how many people have grown under him. I mean, you can look at the Femi Gbajabiamilas, Abi. And so you see, and I'm saying that from the South, who do you think we should give these tickets to? Other than a man that is already doing his best to get us to where he promised.
See, Thelma, the thing is, Nigerians are still complaining. We are not feeling this best.
So be patient. To be patient.
Between
Do you
security,
want the long run to be better? Follow through. And I think that is why, because of how impatient we are, I think it is why our leaders sometimes try to give us,
that's good.
just crumbs here and there to citate, just put us in that, "Oh, okay, okay." I say, people, are we really patriotic?
Thelma,
Because if you're in a political office and you're giving handouts to people, people won't hold you responsible. People prefer that they're taking handouts than to take, than for you to spend the time implementing constituency projects. If you're not doing the handout, they say, that one is very stingy.
But it's been almost 4 years.
We need to give it time.
How much time
I see that
give people
as of today, Jessam,
Yeah.
I have said here, as of today, our GDP has increased by 4.7.
How does that impact on the market woman?
It's time. Before you go reach the market woman, it's gonna take time. See, we're Nigerians, we're strong people.
I think
We're
this
going,
rent is
we're
being
going through a lot, I agree. But we can push a little bit more.
if Nigerians push more than this, they will break.
We will
Going
not,
to the
we
hospitals,
will not break.
I'm talking about the general hospitals.
Because
The
I'm
teaching
saying the
hospitals.
hospitals have always been the hospitals.
Oh, come on. But it shouldn't be like that.
We're getting there.
It shouldn't.
See, I believe that regardless of who won the 2023 elections, regardless of who could have been announced president, I don't think there's any president that could do magic in the time we've had. There's so much that needs to be done. I think that we need it may come off as I'm just saying it, but it's the truth.
Yeah, we may never know.
No, I
We
think
may
I,
never
I
know.
saw I saw I saw posts today online where people were questioning the activities of our governor. Yet we do know that our governor has worked tooth and nail. He's trying to put us back on the map, has done so much, he's fixing so much. I don't think there's any leader that can 100% satisfy his people. I don't believe there is.
But there are governors and there are also leaders that have done a lot to
True.
do something that their constituents will say, oh, we feel this administration.
True.
We won't even go far. See Abia State.
Yeah.
65 years and older, you're placed on a salary. Their road network is fantastic. If you've been to Abia State lately, and even in the past,
While you're saying that, I hope you also know that there is still work going on in Abia. That's why I'm saying it doesn't happen overnight.
I'm feeling something right now. Nigerians need to feel a bit of relief that,
Let me ask you,
okay, all your reform policies are touching us positively in one way or the other.
we're getting there. I mean, we're 36 states.
Yeah.
Abia State is one state. It is an unfair comparison
How is it unfair?
because you're looking at the entire nation. While we may want answers are coming.
Governor under a president.
True. We're saying now, do you even think that? I mean, I don't think there's a way to convince anybody. But if we, like I said, take off emotions and really go back to look at the reforms, the things that President Tinubu is putting on ground, it would aid us. The resultant effect,
yeah, let's talk about
the resultant effect of what he did with the dollar, with the fuel subsidy, is what we're feeling. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The fuel subsidy is what we're feeling now. And because we did not prepare for it, because people were not, it's not something that was expected, it hit us below the belt. But then we're seeing that gradually, we're stabilizing. We're getting
used to it.
No, we're not getting used to it. We're stabilizing. It is expected with anything, no matter how hard a blow comes, the effect will eventually, wear off over time. And then we can now come back and say, okay, this is how it is. Okay, let's go back there. You remember how it was? Immediately the fuel subsidy was removed. But then
what has that money been used to do? Because the idea behind it is to use it, put it back in the states and see how they can develop the other.
I do know that from research that our reserve as a country has increased. Now, I am not in the position.
Kind of reserve, financial reserve.
Now, yes, I am not in the position to defend all of this.
Okay.
You were asking me why I thought Tinubu was a better option. And these are the things that I'm answering. I don't want to begin to dabble into things that are not my area of expertise because you are putting me on the seat. No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to talk about my personal convictions and the things that I know from a place of knowledge.
That's fine. Well, we'll leave that aspect out since you've already gone there. Moving towards 2027,
Yeah.
he has less than really adjusted INEC timetable. He
Yeah.
has less than a year to wrap up his first term and then start campaigning for a second term.
Yeah.
What will be your submission to not just Kosovarans who, got agitated by that post,
Yeah.
to Nigerians at large who I know that post has traveled across the states to get to?
So here's what I'm going to say. President Tinubu is the president who has listened to us as Kosovarans
Has he?
about
Okay.
our oil well. We're even hopeful because of President Tinubu. President Tinubu has given us the South-South Development Commission. President Tinubu has brought the Southeast Development Commission. President Tinubu is a Southerner. I believe that there are other Southerners who could be great presidents. But let us give him the benefit of the doubt for all that it is worth, especially as Kosovarans, to take him back there so that what he has started on can be completed. Because God forbid that we say we are not going to take him back there. What now happens to the progress that we have made so far? What now happens to the hard work our governor has invested so far? I do believe that they are amazing politicians, but I think as Southerners, we should unite and return President Tinubu to Asura.
All right, Mama T, that's your submission.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe every other Nigerian, every other Perseverance has a right to their own submission and choice and polls. Right? It was a pleasure doing this.
Thank you, Jessam, for
All right,
having.
next time you have the seats, but today we just had the gossips.
Yeah, I know. We will talk about that off camera and I will remind you. But it was a great pleasure to be here. And I do hope that the people who are going to watch this will watch it with an open mind.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
They're all entitled to their own opinion.
Of course.
All right, I will catch you at our next episode with some other brewing topic. What is it going to be? You have to sit back and find out. Bye for now.